Hello, dear friends. My particular Shangri-La is the Spanish region of the Alpujarra, full of spiritual refugees who come in search of their lost paradise. I believe that Shangri-La does exist, but in a parallel dimension. Opinion piece. Raiders of Shangri-La. The abode of the gods. A symbol of the new earth. The hidden valley of the immortals, sought by many adventurers. The eternal youth of the Hunza, a land of permanent bliss. James Hilton visited the Hunza Valley, described in the novel Lost Horizons. Pakistan's hidden mountain utopia. Shangri-La, not to be confused with Shambhala. Vatican renounces discovery doctrine. Let's start. Australian adventurer David Adams traveled 4 years ago in search of Shangri-La through the Hindu Kush in the icy valleys of the Himalayas and the Karakoram mountains in the far north of Pakistan. Those who returned spoke of a journey through hostile lands, of crossing treacherous mountain passes, and desert gorges in his search for a valley where people have lived for hundreds of years. Some adventurers have tried to find a place that fits the description of Shangri-La, a place featured in James Hilton's novel Lost Horizons, first published in 1933 and adapted into a film of the same name by Frank Capra in 1937. In the novel, Shangri-La is a lost utopia somewhere in the Himalayan mountains, where people live in peace and harmony. Ultimately, Shangri-La is a literary creation of the author. What David Adams found in the end is a luxury hotel called Shangri-La, with a replica of the crashed plane in James Hilton's novel. But he also found the abandoned palace in which the author wrote his novel, which was on the borders of the British Empire. Baltic Fort was the former residence of the lords of Hunza. Argument. The novel Lost Horizons tells the story of the survivors of a plane crash who managed to reach a utopian lamasery called Shangri-La on the edge of Tibet. It is an enclosed place where wonderful landscapes can be seen and where time is suspended in an atmosphere of peace and tranquility. Shangri-La is described in the novel as a mystical and harmonious valley, gently guided from a Tibetan lamasery or monastery, nestled at the western end of the Kullu Mountains. The people who live in Shangri-La are almost immortal, living hundreds of years longer than other human beings and aging very slowly. A land of permanent bliss, isolated from the outside world. Legend tells of a utopian kingdom hidden among the towering mountains of Asia's interior, a paradise on earth but a place apart, a place of spiritual fulfillment and eternal life, a place known in the West as Shangri-La. The romantics, adventurers, and devotees of the century risked their lives in search of this lost paradise. Many perished in the search. In an interview with the New York Times in 1936, Hilton claimed that he used Tibetan material from the British Museum, in particular the travel diary of 2 French priests, Évariste Regis Houck and Joseph Capet, to illustrate the Tibetan cultural and Buddhist spiritual inspiration from Shangri-La. Houck and Capet made a round trip between Peking and Lhasa between 1844 and 1846 on a route of more than 250 kilometers in northern Yunnan. Their famous travel log, first published in French in 1850, was published in many languages. It has also been claimed that Hilton learned of its existence from Austrian-American explorer Joseph Rock's writings about the area for National Geographic magazine in the late 20s and early 30s. Bale made the film based on his research Finding Shangri-La, which was screened at the Cannes Film Festival in 2007. The Hunza Valley. Hilton visited the Hunza Valley, now located in Pakistan's Gilgit-Baltistan territory near the China-Pakistan border, a few years before his novel was published. Hence, it is popularly believed to be the inspiration for Hilton's physical description of Shangri-La. As an isolated green valley surrounded by mountains, enclosed in the western edge of the Himalayas, it matches the description in the novel. The Hunza Valley is believed to be the inspiration for the mythical Shangri-La Valley in James Hilton's novel. It is a mountainous valley in the northern part of the Gilgit-Baltistan region of Pakistan, formed by the Hunza River, bordered by Hish Common to the northwest, Shigar to the southeast, the Wakhan corridor of Afghanistan to the north, and the Xinjiang region of China to the northeast. The longevity of the Hunza people is explained by their healthy lifestyle. Many researchers have lived with the Hunza people to solve this mystery, including Robert McCarrison, who didn't discover a single person with diseases such as cancer, stomach ulcers, or appendicitis. I don't know if they feed on the medical peaches of immortality, but they dry halved apricots in the sun to eat this dried fruit during the winter. It has a white population with many blonde-haired, blue-eyed people, descendants of Alexander the Great's army. Today, several places such as parts of the southern Kham in northwestern Yunnan province, including the tourist destinations of Linjiang and Zhongjiang, claim to be the true Shangri-La. In 2001, Zhongjiang County in northwestern Yunnan was officially renamed Shangri-La La City County. After visiting the Tibetan county of Muli in southern Sichuan in 1999, American explorers Ted Vail and Peter Klicker claimed that Muli Monastery in this remote region was the model for James Hilton's Shangri-La. Geography. The Hindu Kush is a mountain range in Asia, situated between Afghanistan and northwestern Pakistan. It is the westernmost extension of the Pamir, Karakoram and Himalaya ranges. The Karakoram range is, with the Himalayas, one of the great mountain ranges of Asia, situated on the border between Pakistan, India and China. It is about 500 kilometers long and is the region with the most glaciers in the world outside the polar region. 5 of the 14 peaks over 80,000 meters on Earth are in this range. Travelers to India are impressed to see the extent of this mountain range from the plane window. The Indus and Asian River that flows through the Indian subcontinent, one of the longest rivers of the continent, the most important river in Pakistan and one of the main rivers in India, and also flows through China in its upper reaches. Originating in the Tibetan plateau of western China in Tibet, the watercourse flows through the Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir, and then enters Pakistan until it empties into the Arabian Sea near the port city of Karachi in Sindh. Do not confuse Shangri-La with Shambhala, although some say they are the same. While Shambhala would be in the Gobi Desert, Shangri-La would be at the sources of the Indus River. Shambhala is a mythical place in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. It is said to be a spiritual and utopian pure land located somewhere in the Himalayan mountains. Some have speculated that Shambhala might be related to certain geographical areas or cultures, such as the Mustang Kingdom in Nepal or the Bon culture in Tibet. Ultimately, Shambhala remains a mythical place, symbol of the spiritual quest. World Order change. The New World Order finalizes the half-millennium plan to conquer the planet according to Benjamin Fulford. On 30th March, the Vatican renounced the doctrine of discovery. It was a 1 in 500 years news event that went almost unnoticed in the media. This doctrine, first introduced by the popes in 1452, allowed Christians to invade the land of non-Christians all over the world. It led to over 500 years of relentless wars of conquest by the West against the rest of the world, and was used to justify a massive crusade-like invasion of the Middle East. Now, says the Roman Empire, in quotes, we regret having tried to subjugate the whole planet to the obedience of a Caesar. Pope Francis says, never again can the Christian community allow itself to be infected by the idea that one culture is superior to others, or that it is legitimate to employ ways of coercing others. This idea matches that of many famous anthropologists who say that no culture is superior to others, and that no one has the right to impose their way of life on other peoples. There is also renewed talk of replacing Francis with an African pope. This may be the reason why there is again talk of his resignation for alleged health reasons. According to Vatican observers, the health episode involving Pope Francis seems increasingly indecipherable. The versions given are not only different but also contradict each other. In any case, during the same week that the Vatican was making its moves, the head of the Committee of 300 sent a message to the Asian secret societies, asking to negotiate a new polycentric arrangement for the planet. The Asian secret societies responded as follows, in quotes, we seek to realize world peace. We have been deceived many times by the fine words of the West, but we look forward to the creation of a new world federation. These moves by the two major Western power centers, the Vatican and the Commonwealth, are happening because the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and the BRICS now control 80% of the world's population and GDP. Even Spain, France, Italy, Hungary, Germany, the Netherlands, Slovakia, Poland and the UK are already trading with Russia. This means that the rules-based world order is now limited to a few leaders. A revolution is also brewing in the West. Progress. Puffner said, we can surely say that progress is being made centimeter by centimeter. You don't know the plan, but believe us, there is one. There are many people watching silently and waiting for the agreed signal to set the next phase in motion. Only the key people know what that is. But again, the powers that can move the earth in the white hat camp, are doing what needs to be done. Just trust that it would be nothing more than a problem if they were anything more than keeping quiet about it all. There is data collection and knowledge development being applied, a kind of check and balance. As you may well know, players change, deployments, new intrusions, latent developments, and foreign policies are taken in stride and carefully examined. New media speakers are making the job even harder. Just know that plans are still underway to make funds available to the many who helped carry the burden. We can't say much more than that. It was known from the beginning that it would not be an easy task, but none of you who were in this situation thought it would be more than 20 years before closure, but it will not be much longer. Do not forget that all of you agreed that when the money came to you, you would benefit humankind with it and help to uplift your soulmates. Be careful and be vigilant. The games being played at this time are undermining and misleading people, as well as being wrong in some areas. Be a listener, not a speaker. News of the day, or breaking news. Oil prices soar after warning of production cuts. Dogecoin Dog becomes Twitter's new logo and the value of the cryptocurrency soars. Finland's fence on its border with Russia will cost hundreds of millions of euros. A Russian war correspondent is killed in an explosion in a restaurant in St. Petersburg. China conducts intense military exercises on the eve of a meeting between the Taiwanese leader and the Speaker of the US House of Representatives. Half of artificial intelligence researchers believed that humans could become extinct because they cannot control it. Trump case. Donald Trump flies to New York for his court date. According to Wanosabi, some things are absolutely fixed and some things are not. Everybody thinks that an arrest of Donald Trump is going to change something. It doesn't change anything. It just keeps them bogged down trying to find a victory, where it doesn't matter. According to Pete Hegseth, if this isn't a moment of closed ranks, then I don't know what is. This is a horrible night for the Republic, but politically a great night for Trump. There is a mugshot of Donald Trump that will be in bedrooms and on t-shirts, because he has become a symbol of what the elite and the power obsessed are willing to do when they have that power. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.